energy only Darren McCarty and Neil Rule can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy. Right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. Stick in for D-Mac, who was a late scratch.
Yes.
But I do always relish the opportunity to get to work with the Detroit media legend that is Stick.
I mean, we don't get to work together often, and the shows are always fun. Like I was telling KG, you are about to be hit with 2 hours of logic and reason.
You
and
won't
I know
even be
a lot
able
of
to
people
stand
can't handle that. Like, it's going to drive a lot of people off a cliff, but get ready for it.
No, absolutely. KG is in the house.
What up?
KG, what's really good?
Your short game, apparently.
That's what I'm saying.
I was not familiar. I got put on game today, though.
You did. That's all right, though. We'll have that for you coming up in just a couple of minutes. We have Spencer Raxter in the house.
Hello.
Spenny, what's
Hello.
good?
Not much. Just
Yeah?
hanging out. Yeah. Yesterday, probably a top 5 episode of Big D Energy. Yeah, man. It was just, oh man, I was literally in tears the entire episode. We got a motherfucker out of Terry in the first 5 minutes of the show. It was awesome.
Because I just said it, motherfucker. That's what makes it real.
Yeah, and shout out to Terry, by the way, too, for coming out
Legend.
and filling in on the show and everything.
But he
like
wasn't
that.
even there to fill in the show. That's the best part of Terry Foster.
Really?
Right?
Okay.
The legend that is Terry Foster he was the former president of the
Detroit Sports Media Association.
DS.
Yep.
Yep. I always get the lettering messed up.
Yeah. Well, because it used to be Broadcasters Association, and then since the evolution of new media, i.e.
Us.
Organizations like Woodward Sports, they
Yeah.
changed it to Detroit Sports Media Association.
Gotcha. Well, Terry was just there to shake hands and kiss babies, and I was like, "Hey, you want to sit in for between 11 and 1 at some point in time?" He's like, "Yeah." Next thing you know, we start the show, and Terry was just on fire going at Flannel Sam.
Sam had it coming, man.
Just on fire. Like, as soon as they said go, Terry was like just giving it to him.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It was good stuff. I'll have this on wax though. I don't disagree with Sam Flannel. I love Terry, but Riley Green is 1,000% a deserving All-Star.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But you're not going to win against T-Foss.
No.
No, you're not.
Especially with Stick throwing jabs in there, too.
That's what that was. It was an outside of a bar fight when your boy's kicking the hell out of somebody. You just sneak in and kick the guy while he's down.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was doing to Flannel Sam. Just a couple sneak kicks to the side, and we broke him
It's too
yesterday.
easy, man.
That's all
We
it
broke
takes.
him. It's too easy.
But it's still fun, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and it's all in good fun. Afterwards, we hugged it out.
Yeah.
It's like Nintendo. You know all the moves to make it all work, but it's still fun to do it.
You're damn right.
Yeah, absolutely. We got intern Justin, aka Jesus, in the house. Justin, what's up, man?
You inspired me yesterday with your beautiful short game to go play some golf, and I had a nice, fun round with my boy Crampton, who I haven't seen since I came back from school. So, great night, and I'm excited to be back in the chair.
Did you roll the putter like I was rolling?
No, I did not. I
Well,
can't, honestly can't
you're
say.
an immortal.
I honestly can't say I hit a putt worth of shit. So
Okay. I did.
yeah, you did.
It was a performance for the ages. It absolutely was. And it's funny because so I'm happy to be back, back here in effect and be back at it here on Big D Energy. Jump into that Woodward Sports chat thread as well. Subscribe to Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Get in there and get your thoughts. Yes, I see the El Mago stuff.
He's back.
Yes,
He's literally back.
He's back, baby!
this has become
Listen,
11-14.
he would have been 2 for 3 if it wasn't for that damn shortstop.
11-4. This will be the first segment we get into. I didn't want to start this way, and I'm not going to start this way because you people,
You people.
you El Mago people, you people, you, the media's pandering to you now.
Will Ryan Kreigler make those plays?
Nope.
His war's higher than Javi's.
Don't matter. Golden Glove tagger.
Don't matter.
Golden Glove tagger, man.
Uh-huh.
Stop playing with
Negative
Javi.
defender.
Put some respect on his name.
I will when he becomes a positive defender. I will. For a guy who's... You almost got me.
Yep, almost.
You almost got me.
It's almost too easy for you, too.
You almost got me.
It's not 11-14 yet.
And it's not 11-14 yet. No, but we're gonna get in. I heard something on the way into the studio today on another network
Quote.
that I couldn't believe. And then it got chased. I opened up The Athletic when I got in the studio, and then I couldn't believe. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. I got a Jalen Duren thing. And the only reason I'm sad that it's you and not Flannel today is because the footage of Jalen Duren cooking Data Davis with the jumper. Ooh.
Man, I wish I was here. I wish Flannel was here too. Because I would love to just step in the studio and drop bombs.
Because clearly Jalen Duren is better than Anthony Davis.
I think he's in the back. Do you want me to go get him?
Look at this. Look at this. Look at that.
Come here.
Look at that defending. Look at that defending Data Davis. Look at him. Just locking it up. Here's Jalen Duren again. Just closing it out. The reach in, the knock away. I was told he couldn't defend, but we're going to get there on Jalen Duren.
Who told you he
too.
couldn't defend?
That's all I hear.
Who
Trade
told
him.
you that?
Just 3. Well, we got about a 20-second delay, right? To
There's
the
a lot
chat.
of people that feel that way.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a good defender.
I mean, he's
he ain't.
20 years old.
20.
Like, come on, man. He's playing against grown-ass men.
He'll get better.
He'll get better.
Yes.
Yeah, I am not. Jalen Duren is the least of my worries for the Pistons, mostly because I don't think he's the savior for the Pistons. He's just a nice piece, but I think he's a very nice piece for the Pistons.
100%. We'll get there. We'll get there as well. We do got a lot of stuff to get to here on a Monday. There is some Red Wing stuff in the fold. The Pistons, a couple of moves. I've been out for a couple of days, so I'll parachute in and parachute out and kind of give you my thoughts on it. Some Tigers made the All-Star team. It was not Javi. I know that the town's going to riot.
Yeah.
But
travesty.
But it was not Javi. Jesus and I got in a little bit of a discussion today. And I know how you guys are going to take this. You're going to take it as a shot at Michigan, and that's not what it was intended to do at all.
Uh-oh.
It's not. It's just a supporting point for the argument. I think that Jesus... I don't know if Gen Z has a spokesman. I know they have a lot of, quote, sober influencers.
They got social media sober influencers.
Yeah. I know that they have that because, ironically enough, that was up on the TV.
Yeah, on the news.
On the news when we were having this discussion.
AKA dorks.
FJ1967. Good morning, chat. Welcome back, Neil. Thank you, FJ1967. Happy to be back with all of you guys. At D's 411, we got Stick and Neil today. This is going to be interesting. John effing Lord. El Mago. Okay, cool. Alan W. El Mago's hitting 333 since his return to the majors. He is so back. Just a fan. El Mago is back. Okay, there we go. There we have it.
Kiss the rings.
Sam Flannel, by the way. Jalen Duren will never be in the Hall of Fame that Anthony Davis will be in. That will be a great day for me. Even if Jalen Duren doesn't make the Hall of Fame, they will both not be in the Hall of Fame together on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And then Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Day to day. He'll be the first ever admitted into the Hall of Fame on a day-to-day basis.
And the first ever suit coat admitted. Not a jersey, a suit coat.
And a pair of Jordans.
Yeah, because that's what he was wearing majority of the time.
Mike G, Neil, UM hate segment. Ready, set, go. No.
There he is.
Hey.
There he is.
That'll be the statue.
That pose, too, is crazy.
Flannel Sam's got that poster in his room.
Yes.
Do you think it's above his bed?
It probably is. I don't want to get into that, though. Sandy Dorton, too many Sams. Sam Reynolds, Sam Stick Day. Oh, there are a lot of Sams
We
around
used to have
here.
3.
Yeah, we used to have Sam Fisher.
We did.
Rip.
The Shaquille Oatmeal.
How do you know it?
Neil Rule, you can't tell me Almago isn't back, especially since what he's been doing since he has been back. Okay.
Hitting 333.
But Danny Raxter, the man of reason in the chat. El Mago was never here, so how can he be back? Exactly. All right, but anyway,
never went nowhere.
here's what I was getting to. So having the discussion with Jesus and Stick, I don't know if this is the case or not. You're probably better versed in this than me. Does Gen Z have like a spokesperson or a president?
Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, Greta's up there. That Dylan McKinney thing.
It's TikTok, people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know any of those people.
So like
You know Greta.
Kai Cenat.
She's always telling you about your
Kai could be
your
one.
cars and how bad it is for the environment as
Cow
she flies
farts.
around in her private jet.
Okay, but we're not going down that exit of the highway, Stick, all right? So just stop right there. All right, I'll pull this car over. I swear to God, I will.
Don't get me going,
Yeah,
Neil. I will stand on my old man stuff.
I'll turn this car right around. All right, so My question is this, because the Gen Z folks, all right, like that genre of people, Jesus fits that to a T.
Yeah.
All right. And here's an
look at
example.
him. I mean, look at him.
Look at him. Right? Yeah,
Just look at him.
Just put him on camera right
look
now.
at him.
Well, okay, so there. All right, right
There you
there.
go.
There he is. Okay. This is a student at Western Michigan University, everybody.
yes. God.
At Western Michigan, where he goes to school, who likes Western Michigan Monday through Friday. But then on Saturday, then it's time to be a Michigan
Go
fan.
Blue, baby.
And this isn't a shot at Michigan or anything like that. Not at all. It's just like, that is so Gen Z. And then he's like, well, I don't like scary movies. I don't like to be scared.
No, that's not what I said. I did not say I don't like to be scared.
What'd you say?
I'd say I'd rather sit stoned and watch a comedy movie or an action movie. Oh my god. But I like haunted houses, so I do enjoy being scared. I just don't enjoy the medium of a scary movie.
I'm with him on that, honestly.
So here's the caveat, right?
I'm good on scary movies.
I want to be D-Mac
are
right now.
horrible.
The caveat.
Yes.
I would agree because Gen Z is kind of fickle with their fandom. They show no loyalty to anybody. It's what's best for me in the moment.
I don't know about that. I am a diehard Detroit sports fan, and I don't necessarily root for any other
But
team.
you go to Western
Jamie
and,
Benn
and you're
jersey.
rooting for Michigan, right?
Because I collect jerseys. I have over 40 jerseys.
No. You go to Western, you root for Michigan.
But
And this
here's-
isn't a
I
Michigan
root for
thing,
both.
everybody.
I root for both because I grew up a Michigan fan. My dad's a Michigan fan.
You know
I
what
fell
he
in love with
sounds like?
football from Michigan.
You know what he sounds like?
Oh my god.
A young Maz. And that's why I don't want to. That's
all
why,
that's missing is you can't tell me who to root for.
And that's why I don't want to pin it as a generational thing, because there's the masses of the, hey, I grew up in New York and I loved every team that played
Yeah.
ever in New York.
I like the
then
Mets
I
and the
moved-
Yankees.
yeah,
I like the Giants and the Jets. How can you do
And then I
that?
Nah,
moved
that's
to,
a
then I
sin.
moved to Detroit, and I love Detroit teams, and of course
It's
I love
di-
the Cowboys because they're great, and then I love the Green Bay Packers. Oh, Lombardi,
And the
oh,
49ers.
Oh, the 49ers when Joe Montana.
All right, Stick,
was
let me
so-
rebuttal over here.
So that's like I'm on your side. I'm saying this isn't a generational thing.
well-
I'm saying there's more people like you, like Maz. So before you come at me, understand I'm on your side. That this isn't a generational thing.
You're
There's
just Maz Jr.
There's fair weather
Jr.
fans in every generation.
Just for mass.
Just for Maz.
And this is go ahead now.
I just think that they're not even comparable, me and Maz, because Maz roots for the same team in the same leagues. Like, there is no relevant thing in college football or college basketball. The two main college sports I watch, college hockey, a
Michigan's
close third.
playing Western. Who you rooting for?
Michigan.
Football.
Ew.
Yes.
But you went to Western.
Yes.
That's my point.
That's
I understand, like, if you want to root for Michigan, you know, you like Michigan. But if they're playing each other,
Yeah,
you're
that's
still
crazy.
rooting for Michigan?
Yes,
That's my
because
point.
I've been a Michigan fan my whole life. I fell in love with football by watching Denard Robinson play. Like,
And this isn't a Michigan thing, everybody. This is Gen Z's the enemy here right now. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Neil, what college basketball team do I stand on? Even though they are awful.
Detroit Mercy,
Why?
because you went there.
If they're playing Michigan, who am I rooting for?
Detroit Mercy.
If they're playing Oakland, who am I rooting for?
Detroit Mercy,
They're
and you're gonna
playing
walk away
MSU.
disappointed, yeah.
And that's fine.
Yep.
But you know what? That's my team. Like I am associated with them. So that's why, like, I'll ride or die with the University of Detroit Titans. Tommy the Titan is my dog till the end of
And
time.
here's my point. With it all. We're getting feedback from the Western Michigan contingent in the chat right now. Freddie Felt. Neil knows our alma mater doesn't have a football team. Go Blue. I would talk about Oakland there, I guess. Okay, that's fine.
fired.
Neither does UND.
Mike Willette. Does Western Michigan have a Division I program? They do, as a matter of fact. They played in the Cotton Bowl not too long ago.
and they've
as a
put
matter
out
of
some
fact.
pretty good pros lately.
They certainly have.
yeah.
And they do it, again, they do it with a $9 million budget
Right.
compared to Michigan's $150 million budget. It's actually impressive what they've been able to pull off over the course of the last decade or so. That's my point about it. Like, but is that too in-depth for Gen Z? Like, is it just, I got to feel good? What's it going to take to feel good? That's what I have to do now?
It's not feel good because you know that I watched the Tigers almost every game this season, Neil. Why the hell, if I wanted instant gratification, would I even dare watch them? Because they are killing me slowly with their inconsistency and their offense. And it's just, I don't know. I think you guys are off base. They're not even in the same realm of each other in terms of rooting interest. in competing with each other.
I wouldn't be mad at it if you didn't say you would root for Michigan when they're playing Western.
Yeah.
See,
That's where it gets murky, right?
the tougher question, because football and basketball, they're not even comparable. But if you were to ask me about hockey, because they actually are comparable, that's where, honestly, I don't know if they play each other who I'd root for.
And that's only because Western's
And
competitive.
that's a Gen Z answer. Like, I don't know.
Damn it, Juices, you're killing me. I'm trying to be on your side. It's like, well, in a sport where they could compete, I'll root for them. But when I know they're going to get their head kicked in, I don't care.
All right.
That's fine.
I don't know that we got anything settled there, but the point of my story is
This will never be
if
settled.
Gen Z once Gen Z like realizes life's about money, and they decide to monetize the whole Gen Z mantra, they should look into hiring you as a spokesperson.
Well, there's not a lot of us who can actually public speak, so I'd say I'm already in the top couple percentages in that election.
Why is that?
I actually.
Why are you firing shots at Gen Z?
Why is that? Because they grew up texting and interacting over social media and computers. And God, I sound like an old man.
No, it's true. Gen Z never had
You
that
should see a
laugh.
college lecture hall these days, as these kids are like shaking to walk up and talk in front of like 20 people,
And don't
30
forget,
people.
They locked these kids down for 2 years when they were like in their formative years of being, 16, 17,
Yeah, that didn't help.
18.
my
They all just become
anxiety.
social degenerates.
Gen Z
My
never used to
anxiety.
have to do that lap when they were younger to see what friends wanted to hang out, hop on the bike, go to one
Right.
house.
No, I had to do that.
No,
Could you imagine
I-
these kids?
I had to do
on
that.
MySpace?
Rejection.
Yeah.
Hold on. I had to do that. That was like the beginning of my childhood, and then I learned how to use a landline.
Right. Could you
But-
imagine these kids with MySpace and ranking your friends?
Oh,
They would all die. Like, the suicide rate would go through the roof, and they blame MySpace because of their little feelings. And, oh, God.
The top 8 was crazy
Top
back in
eight
the
was
day.
crazy.
That
Remember
top
dropping
8 was-
someone from your top 8?
Yeah,
Like,
man, that shit
You'd
was
have to
crazy.
shoot them in,
Sorry.
shoot them in an AIM message and be like, sorry.
My bad, bro.
Damn, that's actually tough. If you did something like that at my high school, like I made a
Right.
TikTok dissing people that wasn't even naming people specifically, and I lost like 20 friends off
my
of it
God.
because they
And
were
yet you
people were
survived.
so
So
pissed.
soft.
And you survived. Real quick before we get out of here to the first break.
I love that. Sorry, who farted? I'm a social degenerate, but it's kind of fun. And, shout out to everybody in the chat who is probably a social degenerate.
No, you guys are cool.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But
You guys are the cool ones.
We like
Because you're here with Woodward Sports and you subscribe.
No, we
Shout
love
out
you
you.
guys.
It's him that we're going at.
Rando Smalls. Neil, did you root for Oakland before you started working for them? I went to school there, as a matter of fact. Yeah,
There you go.
so like that's
Grizzlies.
It all makes
that's
sense.
my thing.
That's
You know
why
what
he
I'm
has
saying?
a Grizzlies golf bag.
That is true.
I got a Michigan
You were
State golf
destined to
bag.
be-
You do.
Yep.
Good time with the boys though over the
That
weekend,
was
man.
fun.
Had a great time.
I
with
shot
you
like
guys.
absolute dog shit, but it was fun.
Yeah, it was absolutely fun.
I had
All
a couple
let-
shots.
What's that?
I hit a couple shots.
You hit a couple. Hey,
Yeah.
that's all you can ask.
That's all
for.
I need.
Just hit a couple shots. Tell them about Guardian Alarm.
Oh, Guardian Alarm. When you want to stay out and keep people out of your house, you got to call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
out.
They've been doing it for about 100 years, so they know all about the security. You're going out of town on vacation. It's summertime. You're heading up north. Maybe you want to have that peace of mind with somebody watching your home. They're watching 24/7 around the clock. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT right now and get Guardian Alarm to protect your home.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Soroki's Crispy
Yes.
Chicken and Pizza is taking over Michigan, known for their quality hand-breaded chicken tenders, delicious chicken sandwiches, the New York-style pizza, and of course, the best biscuits in the game. Like, you could just get a 6-piece biscuit and have that.
And be happy.
And be extremely happy.
Yeah.
They got locations all over the place. They just opened a new one in Madison Heights. To find one near you, go to Sorokis.com. Sorokis. Now that's crispy.
All right, we're off and running here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. That guy over there, Stick, filling in for D-Mac, who was a late scratch. We got KG, the fabric of Gen Z intern Justin, and, of course, Spencer Rackster as well.
Will you at least show off the beauty of my Gen Z-ness by the golf edit I made you at some point during the show?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Spenny's got you. We got that in the Slack, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll get to that maybe coming
I
back
will
from a
say
break.
this, though. Justin is more of the exception of Gen Z. I mean, when he came in here, he wants to work hard. You know,
Those views reflect those of Stick and Stick alone.
No, we've
They're-
brought interns in here, and it's just like they just want to be a part of the show. They don't want to. They don't want to add to the fabric of Woodward Sports. They don't want to build anything.
He
They
has
don't-
boots on the ground. I'll give him that.
and that's the difference,
Right.
right? That's why he's getting spots on the show, because we've had other guys. I want to talk on the mic. It's like, well, first actually do something, and then you'll be able to talk on the mic.
Yeah, that is my big thing. Like when I go to speak to high school classes and university classes and stuff like that, like you all think you're going to get out of here and graduate, and next stop's ESPN.
Yeah.
No,
Not
bro.
happening.
No, bro.
Shut that
This
down.
is my third or fourth stop in sports media. Like it takes a while to
Yeah.
get
100%.
somewhere.
And how many times have you been shot down in sports media?
You shot me down last year.
Yeah. Well, that was,
Good job, Stick.
we'll discuss the nuances of that.
All right, not
Spenny
straight
knows,
up.
Neil knows. I didn't shoot you down last year.
Not straight up like that, but
I
I did
protected
not.
you.
I did not make the roster last year.
You did not.
And was more of a developmental piece going into this year.
Yeah, you were in the AAA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
well-
showing out now, though.
Speaking of AAA, and this got moved to the front of the list, and I know that some of you are going to say, "Oh, this again," but you people do this to me. I don't do it to you. Okay? Yesterday, the Tigers. This was wild. Got a 1-0 win over the Guardians, and it was over by like 8:15.
Yeah.
I was mowing the lawn, and the game was over in the time it took to mow the lawn.
Ain't baseball great now?
No, it's really not.
Sure
but
wish
anyway,
I could watch it.
well, that's if you
thanks,
want to
Bally.
bad enough, you could.
I don't.
Good.
Well, then there you go. But
I
here,
want it delivered to me, Neil.
here's the deal, Stick. Javi Watch is back.
Hey!
Javi Watch is back. So, as we take a look at the numbers yesterday, we update you with Javi Watch. Yesterday, against the Guardians, was 1 for 3
Really
with a
2 for
double. No, he was 1 for 3 with a double. Don't start this shit. We're going to get to that in a minute, okay? Because I want to know where something's coming from. Where is this an edict or what? But let's get Javi Watch out of the way. 1 for 3 with a double in his triumphant return to the lineup. That brings his... I know that everyone forgot this, but his numbers for the season, he is now hitting 185 for the year. 1 home run with a 465 OPS.
You'll never mention the ribbies, though.
25 RBIs.
On pace for 50. Let's
Okay.
go.
Hey, baby.
Okay. Now, with that being
Playing with
said,
that man.
still a negative defender by far. Still a lower WAR than Ryan Kreidler. However, Stick, on my drive in, I like to do this. I freely admit it, although some other people don't. But we are in competition with other networks around here. We just are. It's not much of a competition, especially in the digital space, but I digress. I was on my way driving in here and heard their production talk about how, quote, Javi got a double, he lined out, then he grounded into a double play, and the crowd booed him. And that really, quote, pissed me off. Unquote. That's a direct quote, which in turn pissed me off. Because then, Stick, you chase that. I open up The Athletic as I sit down, as I like to do, just kind of take a look and see what's going
Yeah,
on.
the Athletic's tough.
I enjoy The Athletic.
Do you?
I think it's a great product.
Me too.
I'm happy to pay for it.
It's
I enjoy it. It's my quote unquote newspaper. I like it. But Cody Stavenhagen had the story. Who does a fine job? He's boots on the ground. I'm allowed to disagree with stuff he says, though. I'm allowed to do that. Now I may get blocked like some other people here, but that's fine.
Right.
Cody Stavenhagen said, in Javier Baez's absence, the Tigers learned the reality of life without him. And you know what, Cody? I also learned the reality of life without Javi Baez. And guess what? I liked it. I liked when he was gone, Stick. And I don't know where this is coming from. I get why you guys do it, and it's fun, and I enjoy it. And I can always tell what happened because I know right around the time Javi's up, even if I'm not watching the game, and I see my Twitter notifications go off, I'm like, oh, Javi got a hit. But, Stick, where is this coming from with the media? Where is this coming from people that we know that have been around this town for a long time? Stick, no, for real, though. We do it, it's cute, but for real, and I'm asking you guys as well, where is this coming from? That is not based in reality.
You know, I have a rough time explaining other people.
Okay, no, in your best guess.
And my best guess, I think it's just hope for the best, right? Like
There is no best.
You want to try to take that angle, and being offended for somebody is the hot thing to do. So I guess that's really the only thing that I could see going into this.
Hold on. I do this immediately.
Oh, boy.
I stop it and I address it right away.
Oh, boy.
Saif Salman. Javi's a great defender. No, he's like -8 in runs saved. Stop with this. He's a great This is what I'm talking about. And yes, KG, I'm getting pissed off right now. I didn't want to. I didn't want to. But this isn't me, and this isn't a bit. This is media in this town. This is other sports networks. This is writers in this town. Yep. And this is the result of it. He's a great defender. And it wasn't typed with that tone, KG. No, he legit thinks that.
I feel you.
Where is it coming from?
I mean, we had a conversation like, what was it, a month and a half ago, where I was like, listen, if Javi just shows a pulse, he'll be something, right?
He's hitting 185.
He hit
He's a
333
negative
yesterday.
defender.
Right. He could be.
He had 333 yesterday.
He could be hitting 120.
But that was my whole point because, listen, we're dealing with the dead body of Javi Baez, right?
No doubt.
But we're saddled with it. So it's almost like
we're stuck with
you're
him.
just going to have to enjoy it while it's here
But
because you got no other choice, Neil.
I know
So
that.
we either look at the dead body and be like, man, this is a rotting corpse. And
Y'all want to see a dead body?
Y'all want to see a dead body? Like, this is Javi Baez. But also, he's got to be our guy because he's our guy.
No.
And until he's not our guy, you got to
I
root
draw
for
the
him.
line at this.
Listen,
I'm
with
We
you.
tried
on,
to tell
like,
him, Steve.
I don't think he's our guy. Like, I don't think he's going to be productive. But it's like, God, at some point, he's got to be. Like, the law of averages have to happen, right?
It's been declining
It's every
That's what's
year.
crazy. At some
gotten
point,
worse
the
every year.
pendulum has to swing up.
Nah.
And not even a full swing, but just like
Nah.
gravity takes over. The law of averages happens, right? Like,
it ain't happening.
So this is it. No, guys, I'm glad we're doing this right now. And I had other stuff I wanted to get to. I didn't want to get to this first, but I do. Woodward Sports chat thread. Alan W. Kreidler and McKinstry can't feel the ground ball. It sucks, but Javi's the best we got. Not according to WAR. Ryan Kreidler has a higher WAR than Javi. Let that sink in. Let that sink in.
Is that true?
Yes, look it up.
That's crazy. That's so hard to believe because I've heard nothing but negative about Kreidler since he came up, and then now he has a higher WAR than Javi Baez.
but with Javi, like you said, Neil, I mean, he's at rock bottom, right? He can only go up, right?
Nah.
Right?
He can go further down.
Neil,
So
tell
this
me
is
he
it.
can only go up. Neil, please.
Ladies and gentlemen,
please, God, somebody
Thank you.
reassure me that he can rebound.
Stick, thank you. People of the chat, thank you. And the viewers, thank you. This isn't a Javi thing. This is a human condition thing. This is rock bottom.
Yeah.
And you know that once you've reached a point where you can't go any lower, you become accepting of it, right?
Yeah.
Like
And that's what I'm saying. At some point, you just got to enjoy it. Like,
He's
I don't
not
want this,
going
but
anywhere,
No.
at least for this year. So it's like, what do you... I understand. He sucks. We all know he sucks. And I do think the majority of Tiger fans realize that he sucks. Like, all the statistics say that. But there is a contingent that are going to defend him because he's on the team, like Stick said.
I'm not defending him. I'm just just baffled that it can get this bad with a guy that's paid this much.
He's been the same player his whole career, though. It was bound to be this way.
Not his whole career.
He was doing the same stuff. He just had a better lineup when he was with Chicago. There was more people to cover up his BS.
He still had to hit the ball. He still had to do it, right? Like, he still had to be the guy that swung the bat at the right pitch. Like, he still had to be productive at some point. Was he protected? Sure, we can give that to him.
But as a Tiger, he's gotten worse statistically every single year.
And that's what's amazing to me. Like, that's what makes baseball so great is you can never panic over a small sample size. It's like, oh, this guy struggled for 10 games. Okay, it's a 160-game season. We'll get there.
It's been 3 years.
But with him, it's like, yeah, we're 3 years in. It's
and Chris Ilitch is not budging.
Are we going to get there? Like, when are we going to get there? And it's just crazy to me because it's all based off his inability to hit that outside low slider.
Yeah.
Like, he's Pedro Serrano of the Detroit Tigers. He just, like, we need Joe Boo to come in, teach him how to hit a slider, and once that happens, we'll be good.
Yeah.
Crazy clown. You're apologizing over a win, LOL. Crazy. See, this is the feed, though. This is the hit. This is the blue magic hit. Pull up, get your hit, get your fix. That's what this is. Like, that's the point. That they won the game 1-0. That's the point. I believe they have the second or third most games without a run this year in the league. Javi Baez and a 185 average is the direct contributor to that. One of the main culprits of it. So, like, I don't understand this dynamic, this accepting dynamic of it, and I never will. But I just wanted to put it out there. What do you got?
Dante 151. Stick. The pendulum for Baez is a swing and a miss for the called third strike outside of the zone.
Yeah.
Baez is unplayable, but Scott Harris can't do anything because of one of the worst contracts.
Yes, facts.
That's fair.
Avila did
that's
that.
fair. He got done dirty. So what do you do? Do you just... I guess you just swallow the contract, but they didn't get better when he went away, Neil. What do you think about that?
Yeah, they did to me. They did to me because
though.
No, because it was exactly about baseball at that point. It wasn't about bullshit and bad contracts and we have to play this guy. It was get this guy out here. And look, Kreidler ain't it. He's a 4A guy at best. I understand that. But that's all it was.
So what do you want?
It wasn't.
What do you want? You had your time without him, right?
And I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it,
and I enjoyed it.
Did the team do any better?
They didn't.
They didn't. So what the hell's the difference whether he's in or out? They're the same damn team.
That's what we.
No matter who you're trotting out there.
100%. That's it.
Not saying you can't be mad at it, but it's like
okay.
You just
then that's it. Then
yourself.
stop. Not saying you can't be mad at it. I choose to be mad at it.
Okay. Yeah.
I choose that.
That's on you.
Okay. Then we just wasted 18 minutes, but whatever.
That's little Chris.
Little Chris.
That's what you're really mad at, but we ain't got to get into it.
We ain't got to get into it.
Kick over those garbage cans.
No, you're absolutely right. All right, we went way over. Brandon Katz, Neil is cooking himself. He defends Hinch constantly because he's a good manager. And now he's admitting Detroit is better without him.
Don't tell
but
that to
Hinch
Flannel
keeps
Sam.
playing him.
But Hinch has to play.
Katz, look me in the eye.
Oh, that's Katz?
Look me in the eye and tell me that A.J. Hinch says, that's my guy.
Yeah.
Look me in the eye and tell me
He
that.
benched him at one point. Like,
why does anybody even acknowledge Katz?
It's fun sometimes. It's fun. All right, tell about Lady Jane.
Remember Lindsey Hunter used to get just
Call him cat
absolutely.
shit.
Yeah, what do you call him? A
Cat
dingleberry
shit.
that one day?
Oh, yeah.
You dingleberry? Like,
Hold on, Josh. Baez is better than Kreidler. I would rather stick with Javi. Josh, no, he's not. By the analytics, he's a worse player. But go on. That's factual. You can say the stuff you want, but I'm not tolerating bullshit and lies. I'm not tolerating it. The numbers say that Kreidler's better. As sad as he's hitting 185. I'd rather stick with Baez.
he makes better defensive plays.
Lady Jane.
Please tell him. Please tell him about Lady Jane's. Please, right now. Please.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. You can walk in anytime. They got them all around the city, all around the country. So even if you're on vacation, you need that crispy cut, you can go to a Lady Jane's. Walk in anytime. I got to get my hair cut by Bethany right when we get off the air today. It's my pre-wedding haircut. So I had a conversation with Bethany. How should I go about getting a haircut for my wedding? Like, do you do it like 2 days before, 3 days before, a week before? She told me. You get about 3.5 weeks out. Try something. If you like it, we'll redo it a week before. So there you go. That's
smart.
some insight. That's some insight. Getting a haircut today. You should too at Lady Jane's.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for Feldman Automotive. There's 18 Feldman Automotive locations in and around the Metro Detroit area. So what does that mean to you? We know about Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. We know about that. But if you want a Ford, a Kia, whatever brand of car you want, it's like a one-stop shop. You want a car, go to feldmanauto.com. Find the car and go buy it. Their buying process is second to none. You get in, you get out, you get your car. You know, some place you go buy a car and it's like an all-day affair? Not at Feldman, not any Feldman Automotive dealerships. A Feldman Advantage, everybody look into it. And by the way, if you need service, that oil change, all that kind of stuff, brakes, whatever you need, Feldman Service Department is the very best in the game, period. I know from experience. Go to feldmanauto.com. It's Feldman Automotive. All right, keeping it pushing. Got Stick in here for DMAC. I'm Neil Rule. We got KG. We got Spencer Raxter as well. And happy to have you all with us today. And see, Catspot comes back with something like this. He goes, you guys are defending a 185 hitter. He's talking to the hobby crowd. I know. Like, that's my point.
I'm not defending the guy.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I just understand.
If you
why
went to
he's
the
there.
if you went to the shop at the Tigers at Comerica Park and you were going to buy a Motor City Edition jersey, you would probably buy a Baez one.
Oh, he coming at you.
All right, that one I'm bullshitting on. All right, I will.
I'm not flannel. You can't get me all fired up with that type of stuff. I ain't buying nobody's jersey. No, I'm just saying, like, I have an analogy that I'm afraid to say.
You're
that
right.
I'm not gonna say it.
Do it, please.
No, I'm not gonna
Let
say
Neil
it.
tear you up.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm just gonna say, this is what we have. Enjoy it.
I wouldn't say enjoy it, but you understand what this is. That's all that is. I feel like it's more of that, Cam. Like, you're not defending them, but we just understand what this is at this point.
Okay.
And Neil can't
Here's a different analogy.
it.
Here's a different. It's kind of like when you're in a relationship, you know it's over, but you're committed and you don't want to be the bad guy, and you just keep running it out there. Like, kind of like my last marriage. We can talk about that. That's what I'm equating it to.
Oh, this is something deeper.
Yeah, this is what.
Well, I had a different one, but then it clicked. Like,
This is deeper than rap.
it's like my last marriage. Like, I knew it was over 5 years before it was over.
Damn.
But we kept running.
Jesus.
We kept running the lineup out there, trying it.
5
You
years.
were the AJ Hinch of marriage.
Exactly, because it's what I was stuck with. Like, I signed this contract.
And Catspot was in the chat saying, Stick is an inferior husband.
Exactly, but it's like, what am I supposed to do? I committed to this chick.
Damn.
She sucks now. She was good once upon a time.
She's under contract.
She's under contract, like, for life, unfortunately.
Right.
And then it just,
Damn.
that's what it is. It's a bad marriage, and you just have to keep showing up in public and acting like you give a fuck.
You couldn't buy her out, so.
Yeah, no buyouts, no nothing.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crushing.
I had to wait. Like, but that's exactly what it is. The Tigers are in a bad marriage with Javi Baez. They're committed to this guy who's giving them nothing on the field, but they got to trout him out there every single day.
But act
they
like don't.
This is my guy. They do, though.
Except they don't.
I could have brought someone up from the minors. It wouldn't have improved my situation, Neil.
Yeah. Sam Shurot says, Neil, would you attach Baez to Skubal in a trade for a lesser return? No. Absolutely not. Hell no. Like, no, I would just, pay the money and get him out of there. That's what I would
solution,
do. Crazy Clown. Neil watches the games on the radio. That would be a tough thing to do, Crazy Clown. I watch it on TV. I actually see a difference. I watch the games on TV as well. And I anticipated watching the last 3 innings because I mowed the lawn, and then the game was over when the sun was still out for another hour because they scored 1 run. And, they won. Do you feel good about that, though? KG, remember when they were hanging around 500, winning games 1-0?
Yeah. That's 4 in a row for him.
I know. But yeah, so that's it. In the chat as well, I'm curious to get Stick's thought on this one. Stick is a tool.
Oh, okay.
I agree. Moving on.
Yep. there you go.
At least he acknowledged it.
I mean, listen, Neil, me and you talk about this all the time. Me and you've been in media for how long?
Long time.
I started
10 years making rap tunes.
Okay, I started in 2001.
Back when Honeys was wearing sassy.
So I've been doing this for 23 years.
Woo!
Damn, 23 years. You don't think I've been called everything under the sun by
100%.
everybody and
100%. Yeah.
So call me what you want. I'm up here. You're there.
I'll never understand that.
How you gonna hate from outside the club? You can't even get in. Keep hating from there, and that's fine. And when you see me out, act like you like me, and we'll pretend to take a picture together. You know how many guys used to show up to the clubs because I was talking to their girl, then they get there and they want to be boys. That's just how these clowns are, man.
Talk your shit.
So I love y'all because, like I tell everybody around here, and like I told Kool-Aid and the rest of the Woodward, the morning show, right? Wake Up Woodward. When they first got on and they were getting some blowback, right?
Shameless plug.
Nobody boos a bench player. Nobody's out here booing the 12th man.
Right.
Nobody's talking trash. Unless you're a starter or a star, nobody's talking about you. So why are you talking about me?
No, it is funny. I always laugh at that. Like the people that are in this industry, they are some of the most thin-skinned people you guys will see.
That is factual.
Mm-hmm.
Real talk, everybody.
Factual.
And I've never understood that. I've never understood how you let someone else's words control your life.
It's like that Dion thing. You think what you say about me has any influence?
Right.
I wake up every day in this body. Like, I've done this, and I love those Dion.
I wake up every morning, I piss excellence.
Yeah, thank you.
Right.
I believe it was the urban philosophizer, Young Jeezy, who said it best. Another man's opinion is never my reality.
You damn right.
Bar.
Like, that's it.
Yeah, see, Mike G gets it. Mike G's been here since day one. Stick carried a show in the beginning of this network. Do your homework. Like, y'all don't know trying to talk sports.
Stick is the network.
They don't know trying to talk sports. I love Chrissy to this day, and I love Joey. That's my best man in my wedding. But talking sports with Chrissy and Joey, trying to kick off a morning show, it was effort.
Ryan's reaction. Stick has tremendous size. He does. All right, let's do this. Let's take the break. I want to get into the Red Wing stuff. I haven't got a chance to opine on it, and we're going to have that discussion as well.
You finna get mad again.
You did this again. KG,
I did
damn you.
I did this.
You sent it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Premier Pet Supply.
Premier Pet Supply. Hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences online and big box retailers. With one major difference, they're family and locally owned and operated for over 30 years. 60 brands of food, nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for Woodward Merch. Yes, shop.woodwardsports.com. Now, Stick, you're here right now. I'm going to put you on the spot about this.
It's about the Boo Them Kids
Boo
shirt?
Them Kids shirt, where's the graphic?
I saw it yesterday in the chat. Ryan Lentz and Noah, if you're listening in the back right now, let's get a new graphic up for the merch.
I only sell, it's in my
Kids.
contract, I only sell the Boo Them Kids shirt.
Okay.
Shop.woodwardsports.com. Detroit is founded on booing children. A famous ex-Detroit athlete's wife told us this.
Yeah.
So let's just
We
not
got to
talk.
put that dude on a T-shirt, too.
Let's not just talk about it. Let's be about it.
Oh, yeah.
Let's boo them kids.
We're sell jerseys. We can make jerseys of his.
What was it? Yeah.
I don't know what number he was at Georgia, but
Let's do it.
yeah.
Boo them kids, everybody. I want 10,000 of those things inside Ford Field. Oh, that would be electric. I want Boo them kids signs. This could be our moment for Woodward Sports, our movement.
You damn right.
I feel
Boo
so
them
bad
kids.
about it because Kelly Stafford really supported this network
Yeah,
at
she did.
first. Like,
She did.
She don't know more.
Our first stuff was studio. Like, she brought like $10,000 worth of toys.
That's different.
Matt stopped by the studio just to show love.
Yeah.
But you know
Stand
what?
on that.
Hey, listen, he turned on us too.
Yeah.
Let's not say this.
He's happy for the team.
He's not happy for me. He
Yeah.
ain't happy for you. He was happy for the team.
Right.
Yeah.
And listen, if you ain't one of us, you're one of them. And I don't mess with them.
The Rams put out that it's Stafford Field. So
I remember. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
It looked like it when he was looking up at the lights cross-eyed.
Yeah.
Really
Hey,
looked like
Chuck.
Stafford
Cuss.
Field that day
Ken Cuss.
when his kids were getting booed
King Cuss.
unmercifully by 68,000 people at one time.
Yeah.
Just boo them kids. Boo.
Looking directly at the children. Nothing on the field.
Oh, 100 yeah, we didn't even care. We didn't even care what
There's
was going
Kelly
on.
Stafford and the kids.
Where are they at? Bring them out here. Alan W.
Oh, I love this show, man. I can't lie. I love this
Alan
show.
W. Neil, when are we getting the Tiger segment with Broder? Anytime Broder wants to walk over and sit down on that chair.
He calling him
Anytime. My guess would be Alan W. Not anytime soon.
Ooh, I'm gonna relay the message. We gonna make this happen.
Go ahead. Absolutely.
I want to be the moderator.
It's got to be near the trade deadline too. Make it extra content.
Oh, this trade deadline. You think it's bad now?
Mm-hmm.
Wait. All right, but we will get there. Okay. ETN, you all are obsessed with Stafford.
I like Stafford.
I don't.
I'll boo the shit out of his kids though.
Yeah.
Damn right.
I don't. He is not here anymore. He is not coming back.
Yeah, he's not.
He went to LA on business.
He came into our house and tried to take away the first chance we had at a playoff victory in many years. After he cost us over a decade of playoff victories. I do not want to hear that he's one of us anymore. Like,
Don't
I'm
get Stick
sorry.
started.
Like, yeah, especially on Stafford.
Yeah,
like,
don't get him
like,
started.
dude, I'll acknowledge. Best quarterback the Lions ever had till number 16 walked through the door. And guess what? He did more in 3 years than that dude did in 12 here in Detroit.
facts.
So respect to Stafford for what he did. Talent, respect the talent, but it wasn't the guy. He wasn't a part of the recipe that made it work here. So yeah, I don't hate the guy, but I'm done with this love affair for him, especially when dude rode in here with his new team, tried to take your girl in your house, and you still want to play patty cake with him?
And didn't
No,
acknowledge the fan
sorry.
base.
Yeah, and then afterwards, instead of being a man and saying, I'm happy for this city, I know what they've been through, I feel for them, I almost feel like I'm a part of it, even though I was on the other. Like, he could have handled that in so many different ways. Check the tape next week on how Baker Mayfield handled how he felt about Detroit getting a win. Check the tape. I earned more respect for Baker Mayfield during that time than ever before in my life because he acknowledged us, the fans, because he understood the angst of what it's been like to wear this on my chest even during 0-16. So it's not Stafford hate. It's just that's, once again, it's my ex-wife. She in the past. I got the new one, much better, taking me to heights I've never been.
Shout out Corey.
Shout out Corey, absolute legend. And that's where I want to be. This is where I want to live now. I don't want to think about that. I don't want to worry about that. I want him to be in LA, us to keep kicking his ass every time we see him in that uniform, and then for us to ride off into the sunset with our championship.
Right.
And then finally, the Stafford championship Super Bowl argument, we can have something to combat. Oh, what about the Super Bowl you went and won? Well, he won it with Goff's team.
Yeah, he got his. Let us get ours. Man.
Yeah, come on. Like, love him. Thank you for what you did here. Goodbye.
Yeah. And the people are running the thing here, and I didn't want it to go this way because I want to talk about Tarasenko, and I want to give my thoughts on the Red Wings, and I want to talk about Bouge and Edwards and their thoughts on Steve Yzerman, and I want to land the plane on it.
Well,
but then, you know, but then you have Katzbod, who says Stafford never had a top 5 offensive line and elite running game that Goff did, except for the fact that, man, I remember Matt Stafford had one of the most elite backfields in history that had 2 running backs go for over 1,000 combined yards, 500 rushing, 500 receiving. 2 running backs that did that.
I don't remember
2
Jared
running
Goff
backs that
having
did
the
that.
greatest receiver of all time on his team. And just throwing jump balls up to triple coverage, and dude coming down with them, and I get the stats.
Or one of the greatest run-stopping defenses in the history of football.
You mean the number 2 ranked defense in the league that year?
Yes, I do remember
Oh wait,
that.
he never had a defense though.
All right, so what other things did he not have? The ground game, the receiver, the defense.
Thank you for what you did, Matthew Stafford. You took an 0-16 team. You made it relevant at some points. Got us to the
I'll give you
playoffs
this.
at some point.
I'll give him this.
Thank you.
You improved the community. The community was better after you left than it was before you got here.
Yeah. And
Respect to you for that.
And I will
were
never talk about
caveats.
anything outside the lines with that family.
Never.
Yeah.
Outside
ever,
the lines.
ever.
Yeah.
But you are in the way of what I want as a fan.
right.
You are in the way.
Right.
And if you're in the way, you got to be put down.
Yes, sir.
And you were put down. You were put down,
In the
remember?
playoffs.
And gonna get put down again.
Finsta.
Your first chance to win a playoff game at Ford Field, and guess what?
And guess
Stafford
what?
did?
You lost again.
What he always does with the Lions in the playoffs.
There you go. So that's it. That's it. I didn't mean for it to spin off into that. Freddie felt Stick and Neil need a 3-hour show. Keep cooking. Yeah. Sam Flannel in there.
Oh, yeah. He's mad. He was still going about the Anthony Davis stuff.
He was. No, he absolutely was. All right, Red Wings.
Mm-hmm.
The Tarasenko signing. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked that it didn't really cost them anything.
Yeah.
I liked that he moved Fabry. I was like, oh, no, how are we going to replace those 13 goals he gets? You know, like it
And being injured all the time.
100%. Like there comes a time where you just got to call it quits. Unless you're the Tigers and Javi Baez. But for most people, there comes a time where you just got to call it quits. And Stick, I liked it. It was a great addition. He's going to slot nicely into that second lineup. Now, this is where we have Juices here. And I think did we talk about this at the golf course? So I talked about it with you. Like what it looks like. Because what I think it looks like is you're going to have Tarasenko, because people are like, well, he's leaving Florida. There's going to be a decline. I think you're going to slot him in the second line. You're going to put him out there with Kane.
Yeah.
And I think that second power play line improves.
Mm-hmm.
I think it improves. And I've heard this comparison from no one. I think what Tarasenko replaces is the loss of Perron in power play production. Not in straight goal for goal, but in the results of the second line power play. There's going to be very little drop-off from line one.
He will be more effective than Perron. There's no doubt in my mind. And it will do exactly that. We will have a more consistent scoring option on the second power play, which gives you more flexibility, which gives you more goals, and hopefully propels this team higher in the top 10 than we were last year in offense.
So, Stick, I mean, for me, like, look, I know a lot of people are going to say, he's a little older, and we'll get KG's thoughts in a minute, because I guess here our own afternoon show had some disparaging remarks. But Stick, by and large, I don't understand how people can say, if you drastically improve your second line and drastically improve your second line power play, which I believe they did, then what's the knock?
The knock is where they're at. And honestly, I think it goes back to the Steve Yzerman comments about a week ago or a couple days ago when he was just talking about the status of the team and where he thinks they're going to be this season. And he really just said, we're kind of in the same area. You don't want to hear that from the top, right? Even if he's being honest, you want to hear, hey, we were close last year. I think we got the guys in here now to take us that step further to get us into the playoffs. Like, you want to hear movement down the line. And I don't think any of these signings are like jump out of your seat guys, which is fine. I don't think they need that super drastic improvement to make the playoffs.
Tarasenko is that guy for me.
Was he for you?
100%.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm with it. Like, and again, I'll go back to this. I think people are kind of creating like a straw man thing about this. What was the move? What was the move that somebody did in the entire NHL? What was the move that somebody did and you said, holy shit, I can't believe it. They changed everything. Who?
Yeah, and
who, for real?
And that's
Anybody.
the thing. And I love when we can have those types of arguments. That's one of my favorite rebuttals to people when they're like, this is the problem. It's like, okay, well, what was your solution? Who's done better? Who's doing it better? And to your point, nobody else is making game-changing signings right now, game-changing trades right now. But I think everybody expected more out of Yzerman, especially this far into the Yzer plan. I know the guy that sits in this seat is going to have Stevie Wise back for 100 years from now, even if he's still the GM and they haven't made the playoffs. He'll say, it's coming. It's coming. Just trust the process. At some point, the shine of being Steve Yzerman in Detroit is going to start to tarnish. And I'm not saying it has yet because they're close, but if they don't get there this year,
yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Come on, man. It's going to be like Joe Dumars. Dude could win you a championship, get you to the Eastern Conference Finals 6 years in a row, and then all of a sudden he's not a good GM. So, like, if that can happen to Joe Dumars, who won you 2 as a player and 1 as a GM, I can see it happening to Steve Yzerman.
All right, I want to continue the discussion on the Red Wings. Also, too, it is Tuesday. So you guys know what that means as far as the show goes. Dr. Jeff Pierce will join us. I got a real good discussion lined up with Dr. Pierce.
Really?
Like all these NFL dudes that are dropping 45, 50 pounds over a summer. What's really up with that? You can't, as somebody who lost a lot of weight over the course of years, you can't just do that in an offseason.
Ozempic. No, I'm talking shit.
I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to ask the question.
There's people doing it. I don't think the NFL players are doing it, but yeah.
How can you explain it?
Yeah.
Dr. Pierce will help explain it. So we're going to do that. We're going to continue this Red Wings discussion as well. It's time to have just the real life honest talk, because I'm going to paint a picture for you, and I want to know what you would have done. I want to know what you're going to do, too. You're looking for a gym to join? We're live at the Planet Fitness Studios. You guys already know what gym I've been a member of for a long, long time. Over 50 Metro Detroit locations. Planet Fitness is where it's at. Tons of cardio equipment, tons of weight equipment. Spenny, what are we on today?
Today is shoulders.
Shoulder day. Don't know why he does it, but he does it, everybody. He's in there getting swole with it. And you can do that. And if you want to run and do cardio, you can do that too, because it's all there for you. There's a Planet Fitness close by. There's over 50 in the Metro Detroit area. All Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost. I see the people out there. They're just getting it started. I see them out there at Planet Fitness. They're out there working with the fitness instructors. Awesome. Love to see it. Go to planetfitness.com. Join there. Pull in the parking lot. You'll pass a couple on the way home. Get it in, guys. Planet Fitness, the Black Card membership, just $24.99 a month. The best deal in all of American consumerism. Planetfitness.com.
Drive into summer and drive into savings during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest Memorial Day sale ever. We're stocked with new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to move. Like this 2024 Silverado for only $217 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $199 a month. Find your freedom in a Feldman at the Memorial Day sale going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Oh, man, Dispo. I went out there the other day when the heavyweights were broadcasting live in Romeo, and you got to try that starter pack. You get like an ounce, you get some edibles, you get pre-rolls, and you get a pen. All for like $99.
You get to find your flavor.
And it was that Gary Payton, too. It was fire. So make sure you go out to Dispo, pick that up. And if you want to win a jersey signed or a helmet signed by your favorite football team, just scan that QR code and enter right now. 21 and up, go enjoy some Dispo.
All right, keeping it pushing, everybody. Hour number 2, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, stick in for D-Mac. We got Justin the intern. We got Spencer Raxter. We got KG here in the house as well. Top 5 Wednesday tomorrow. What were we on? I had forgotten.
What was it, Justin? Excuse or no? We already did.
I'll go look it up. It was the one I suggested a couple days ago. Yeah, I'll go look it up.
All right, cool. But yeah, so we're in it. We're talking Red Wings right now. Talking the Vlad Tarasenko contract. Steve Yzerman gets him in the fold. And look, here's how I'm going to start this. Jesus has some interesting numbers, but that's not what you guys want. We're going to do the numbers first, and they're cute and they're good, and they're a part of the reason why I like it. But that's not what you guys want. We'll get to that in about 4 minutes. What you guys want. I know what you guys want. What are you laughing at, KG?
I'm watching the master at work. That's all.
There is no master. There is no elite to it.
I know you being you. I'm just saying. Like I'm appreciating it.
No, like this is what the people want. So let's get the stat shit out of the way that no one really cares about. Because if they did, they would kind of be like, "Yeah, I like the signing," and they would move on. But that's not what they want. What's the numbers?
First of all, top 5 is worst inconveniences for.
Yes.
Worst
inconveniences. Top 5.
Is that on Thursday? Because we're at Feldman tomorrow.
Oh, there's road closures on there?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody better put that.
We are at Feldman tomorrow. We're doing it Thursday?
We'll do it Thursday.
Yeah, Feldman tomorrow.
Ooh, that's good, though. I like that one.
So, David Perron, who is the equivalent of what this signing is to replace, they played in the same amount of games, 76 games. Perron had 17 goals, 30 assists, 47 points, and was minus 12.
But was very good on the power. He did what he was brought here to do.
Yes, he did.
Stabilize the power play.
But one thing that people undervalue about Tarasenko is how big he is. Like, he is 6'1", 219 pounds. Like, that's a big dude for a hockey player. He had 76 games played as well, 23 goals, 32 assists, 55 points, but was plus 13. And you could say the Panthers defense makes that big improvement on the plus minus, but at the same time, it's not going to be at that big where it's 30 plus minus points in differential.
All right, so the numbers are there. And that's cute and that's great, Stick. And I do like it. But I'm just curious about like the cat spot stuff. Yzerman hasn't signed a single substantial free agent in 6 years. This is my problem. That crowd, and there are people at the other network in town that use that because it fits your narrative and it's convenient for you. And you get to say, he hasn't done this in 6 years, and he's been on the job for 6 years. And the bottom line is, when you walk in the door, and you know where I'm going with this, and I don't care because it's factually correct, and I'll go to it every single time I'm built like that. Franz Nielsen, Abdelkader, and Howard, right there for you guys. $16 million in cap space, $19 million with Darren Helm. So you want him to walk in the door with no cap space, cats, and just start writing checks for free agents with cap space that you don't have because you're paying Franz Nielsen $5.5 million. So that's what you want. So that counts in your book. That counts. And I'm never going to get over this, Flannel. I'm not, because of people, be it on the afternoon show here or wherever they want to be, that are going to sit there and say he hasn't done X in 6 years. He hasn't been able to change the tenor. What about all the draft picks I keep hearing about? Yeah, again, do you like Mo Sider? Do you like Lucas Raymond? Because that's the first draft wave that's coming up here. And through all of this, the biggest move to me in free agency so far was a subtraction, not an addition. You get rid of a guy that does the gritty and gets on a bobblehead and replace him with Simon Edvinsson for 25% of the cost. That's a draft pick, everybody. That's the move. And if you can't see that, then I can't help you. I can't help you. Whether you're the afternoon show here, whether you're a show at another network, if you're a chat member right now and you don't understand that, I can't help you.
How many years do you think it takes to fix the cap, though?
To fix a cap?
Yeah.
The cap's been fixed.
Right, but how many years
It took him about 2 years,
Okay.
2.5, 3 years.
So then we're 4 years of solid cap space, right? Or 4 years of he could operate the way he was supposed to operate.
Right, but those were the highest paid players, that talent level.
This is senior year.
We were at a talent discrepancy in our prospect pool at that point, too. We literally were in old, aging veterans on terrible contracts that you can't move.
All right, let me reset it. Let me reset it for you, too. When he showed up, the most valuable prospect you had was Filip Zadina.
That was a hell of a player.
Where is he still like?
He's a free agent right
He
now.
got cut by the Sharks. Yeah.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Weird.
Walked
I
away.
get it. Listen, of all sports, hockey is like my least involved in, right? So,
but you do understand logic.
I do understand. That's why I asked. Like, okay, so he did come into salary cap hell.
There is no hockey elite to this. If you can't see that, I can't help you.
You cleared it up in 2 years. So you've had 4 years of free operation, essentially, to get the team where you need to be. And I'm not against Yzerman by any stretch of the imagination, but I had higher hopes than where they are. Like, if you would have told me when we signed Yzerman, hey, in 6 years, you guys...
Based on what were those hopes of, though? Based on what of the situation?
What he did in Tampa Bay. You know, when you could take a team like Tampa Bay and elevate them and get them to
when
where
you
they
walk
need
into
to be.
Steven Stamkos and Victor Hedman,
Kucherov,
Are we going to give him the Ken Holland treatment then?
What were the names that he walked into? Stamkos was there.
Hedman was there. Bishop was there.
Okay, you know who was here?
The backup.
You know who was here? Vasilevsky was there. You know who was here when he got here? Franz Nielsen, Justin Abdelkader, Jimmy Howard.
Who Justin Abdelkader? You're still paying, by the way, from
Till
that bad contract.
Spartan Dog.
But go ahead, go on.
No, and this is why I'm asking these questions, though, because I don't go that deep into hockey. You know, I don't know who was where and when. I'm football, basketball, baseball guy mostly, but to me, it seems like he's had enough time, and I think part of
I just gave you the based on
I
what?
understand, but it's more. I was just saying more based on what Brad Holmes has been able to do. You know, and I think that's kind of put the pressure on every
Holmes
GM.
took the same approach.
Exactly, but it hasn't taken 6 years.
But it's hockey; it's a little different.
I understand that, but that's my point. Brad Holmes came into salary cap hell. It took him about 2 years to clean it up, but then you started to see major steps forward. And this next year for the Red Wings needs to be that major step forward because they're similar to the Lions a couple years ago, knocking on the door of the playoffs, but weren't quite there. Finished strong, but weren't quite there. And the Red Wings, they didn't finish strong this year, though. So they're not going into this offseason with that uptrend. When you watch the Red Wings last year, at some points we're super ecstatic. Hey, they're going to make the playoffs. I'm calling LCA. Hey, we want to do live broadcasts out front, like all this stuff. And then next thing you know, they lose 10 in a row, and it's like, okay, well, this season's over. It's a joke. And then they bounce back. Oh, they could make the playoffs. It just got to be very weird with what type of team they actually are and how they're going to take that next step. And I think for casuals like me, on the outside, there hasn't been that splash. And maybe that splash isn't there to go get, but I would have liked to see that. I would have liked to see a guy, Patrick Kane, recognizable name, but old-ass name, right?
See, yeah, but Stick, like, here's the deal. No, you can't do that now, by the way, with the Kane thing. People were electric about Kane. Yeah. Electric.
I know they were.
He's still a point-per-game player.
Yeah, he outperformed what I thought he was going to be.
Me too.
I thought we got washed Kane, because when he was in Chicago, the dude was a dog.
I actually don't think he'll repeat what he did last year this year. I actually don't think that. But yet and still, he's a guy that can be dynamic in certain situations, can be dynamic in the power play, is dynamic in overtime and all that kind of stuff. What do you got, Spenny?
No. You got me on the screen while you were talking.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, though, the point of the story is this. See, you can't – here's the issue. Here's what I'm struggling with where the people are with Yzerman. They assume that this is the NFL. Mm-hmm. If you look at it realistically, he is on a Brad Holmes cycle right now. He is. The first wave of draft picks have come, and they're here. And who are they?
Mo Seider,
Luke Raymond. You're about to see Edvinson. You possibly could see more.
All right, pause.
Sorry.
So that's the first wave.
Yeah.
They don't show up and play the next year.
You got to crawl before you can walk.
That's just the way that it works in the NHL
one point
draft.
You were complaining that they couldn't win a face-off. They couldn't even do that.
Right. 3 years ago, they were one of the worst face-off teams in the league. You can't fix everything, man. You can't. And the reason that it takes longer is because it's a different sport.
That's fine. Fair. But how many years are you going to give them? Juices and you, Neil.
Until there's regression.
Okay, and that's fair.
Which there has been no regression under Steve Yzerman. Show it to me.
That's fair.
Anybody?
Nope.
Anybody? In Jesus's in your Gen Z world, where you're all about progression.
So essentially, you're giving Yzerman a decade. You're giving him 10 years because if they get into the playoffs and lose this year, that's progression. If they get into the playoffs the year after that, win a series, that's progression. Then they go 2 series. If it takes that long, you're potentially giving Yzerman 10 years.
Sure. Why? I mean, if you keep showing the progression.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I'm giving him 10 years.
Mistake.
Okay. I'm completely comfortable because, well, one thing, Neil hit the nail on the head with the NFL, the NHL comparison. NFL players come up right away. They contribute most of the time at some point in their rookie season if they're a high draft pick. The high draft picks still take 2 to 3 years on average in the NHL. So you're only seeing the first wave of prospects. But what you're seeing as a casual is that you don't know is Steve Yzerman has built the second best farm system in the NHL as a team who is on the cusp of making the playoffs. And usually those don't go hand in hand with each other because you're seeing the prospect growth on the roster and it hasn't even hit the roster yet. Yeah. And we're these levels.
I mean, that's great, but we want to win at some point. And listen, I was in Grand Rapids when the Griffins won the Calder Cup or whatever the hell it is, and it was a big celebration. So having a great minor league team is awesome. Doesn't mean a damn thing to me as a Red Wings fan.
It does if he's committed to the youth movement, and that's how he wants
You're
to
going to see. Stick, I'm with you on that. I don't give a shit about that stuff either. But all I know
who's
is
on the team.
But all I know is like those guys that are there are good.
Yeah,
they're good. And again, this isn't the NFL. Sam Laporta of hockey doesn't get drafted and then show up in October and be one of the best at his position in the NHL. That doesn't happen to anybody not named Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
Or Connor Bedard.
And it's just tangible results as compared to like the Tigers who are doing the youth movement. At least with the Red Wings, there are tangible results with your young players.
And they're insulated.
And I think that's the best point Neil could have made. Yeah. Like, until there's regression, just shut the hell up. And it's really that simple.
You can't deny that. And like Catspot, here's where I don't understand. Detroit has not made significant progress with Yzerman. And it's not just Cats that says that. It's a lot of other people that say it. And do you not watch?
Right.
Again,
2 years ago, we weren't even talking playoffs.
You want to know the 10 highest paid players on the Red Wings when Yzerman showed up his first year on the job? Dylan Larkin. Okay, that's fair. Sense. Franz Nielsen, Justin Abdelkader, Jimmy Howard, Darren Helm, Anthony Matha, Trevor Daley, Jonathan Bernier, Patrick Nemeth, and who else was on here? Luke Glendening was up there. Adam, come on.
Ooh, here's an interesting stat that was just put into chat. Yzerman took over Tampa Bay in 2010. Guess when their first cup was? 2020. 10 years.
Okay. So you're willing to give GMs a decade?
Yeah.
In hockey, yes.
In hockey, yes.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Why don't they sign him to a 10-year contract then?
I don't know.
I don't know what his contract is.
I don't even know what his contract is.
Okay.
Does he even have one? Does he just he's done when he doesn't show up anymore?
Hockey is, you don't fix hockey teams overnight.
Yeah.
So that and I can't relate to people that don't understand that. I can't understand. Like, we'll just have to agree to disagree.
Yeah. And shout out Chris for putting that in chat for me. I didn't say his name, so
you cannot compare these two sports. And I'll give you a cross compare.
But wait,
I'll do my best to help the people.
Before we get to that, just to go back to the conversation we had about when he landed there and had all these pieces, and that's why he was able to make them. So they were already years beyond what he came in here for the Red Wings, right? And it still took him 10 years, even landing with all those pieces? Because you guys are telling me he landed in a better position, and you're also telling me it took him a decade.
I would say this.
So with the worst position, are we talking now 12, 14 years?
That's a great question, because I think he showed up in Tampa right about where he is with the Wings now.
Okay.
About year 6-ish. Yeah. He had a couple of dudes in place.
So now we're talking 16 years?
Well, I mean, that's the way that it worked.
Jesus.
I don't think 16 years. Yeah. I think that's a little aggressive because he still had to wait for his
words, because like I said, you guys are explaining this to me, and so I'm listening and I'm hearing two different things.
I'm going to make the comparison for you.
He landed in a good position, but it also took him 10 years. So is that good or is that bad?
I don't think it will take 16 years. I think the comparison to Tampa is he did have Vasilevsky and Bishop, but if I'm not
people in the chat
incorrect,
said he drafted Vasilevsky.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Okay. Bishop was in the AHL. He had to wait a couple years for Bishop to be ready. Then Vasilevsky came. He drafted him in his first draft, I believe, maybe second.
Oh,
and
wow.
then
kind of like a Mo Sider type pick?
Yeah, kind of, just a little bit. And then now you compare it to Augustine, you compare it to Kosa. They are 2 to 4 years away from competing, which I think, so by the time we're looking at 10 years, we might be looking at 12. I don't think 16, though. 16.
Listen, if it results in championship, I'll wait 16, right? Like, if we can get a ship, I'll wait 16. But,
yeah, I just don't understand it. But
damn,
I'll wrap it up.
Where does it end, though? That's what you can wrap it up, but that's what I want you guys to think about. When does the rope stop? And I think you brought up when the progression stops.
When the progression stops. It's very simple.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
It's very simple.
Tough to argue that. And anybody who does is an idiot.
But like the people in the chat, if Brad Holmes missed the playoffs his first 6 years, would he have been fired?
But they just
Sam
explained.
Laporta doesn't get drafted and then have a 1,000-yard season 6 months later.
Yeah, you just
in the
explained that
NHL.
to me, and it made sense. Like,
that doesn't happen in the NHL.
Yeah.
So, again, if you can't understand that, then you can't be saved. You don't want to be saved.
Yeah. Like, my bad, Spin. I had you muted. What you say?
No, I was just saying you can't compare the sports at all.
And I'll try real quick before we get off here. I'll try to give that to you here. Trajan Langdon. Imagine Trajan Langdon walking into the Pistons situation and being over the cap.
Well, that's what Weaver did.
That's what walking into the Red Wings situation was like. Yeah. Imagine the Pistons in their form right now with no cap space.
Yeah, it's tough.
And no prospects.
And no Cade.
No Cade Cunningham.
No Cade.
Yeah, that's tough.
And no Ivy.
Here we go with that.
They probably had
all right, guys.
Here we go with
when we come back, we're going to talk to Dr. Jeff Pierce, our injury insider. I had this pop inside my head, and because I keep seeing it, and I want the medical side of it. So that's why Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine Center will be here when we come back. Late for the break again, man, but tell them about Swiss Insurance.
Well, you need insurance like Steve Yzerman does for his farm system? That's the
common
insurance
sense.
for the real team? Well, Swiss Insurance could build that farm team for you and protect you at the same time. Why don't you do me a favor right now? Open up your Gmail and email mark@swissins.com. Just say hello. Even if you don't need anything from Mark, just tell him we said hello here at the Woodward Sports Network. Tell him about your hockey opinion. Tell him you think Steve Yzerman's going to get it done in 15 years. Whatever you want to tell him, just email him mark@swissins.com.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey, what happens when you do great business for 50 years? Well, they call you Les Stanford, and you just keep expanding and doing more and opening new ones, just like the one here on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. But if you're looking for other Les Stanford vehicles, you can go to Dearborn, too, right off Michigan Avenue. They got the Chevys, they got the Caddies, they got the Buicks, and the GMC. Les Stanford, go get them.
All right, keeping it pushing, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. It is Tuesday. You guys know what that means. We talk with our injury insider, Dr. Jeff Pierce, the Michigan Sport and Spine Center, presented by Amon-Ra of Southfield. But, Doc, first off, how was the holiday, man? You ready to go? You rested?
I'm rested, a little beat up. I took on a project I probably shouldn't have. Like I tell everybody, don't be weekend warriors. Well,
And
I
there's
had
you.
this garage that's been sitting for about 3 years, and the spaces of walking through got narrower and narrower, and I'm getting a little larger. So,
Are you a hoarder?
I have a hard time. Like,
whoa, look at this.
I'm sentimental. Like, I found my daughter's 8th grade project.
That's not a hoarder. I'm talking like you have National Geographics from 1984 just piling up in the garage.
Hey, those are worth a lot of money. Don't be knocking those people.
No, but I'm like you. I just moved houses and I'm sentimental. The stuff that I had to throw away, it's like, no, that's my Little League stirrups. It's like, why do I still have my stirrups?
Oh my God, I can't believe so I got my son. He chose soccer over hockey, and we shut the hockey bag. You know, and this is the days when I was with the Red Wings and all the guys were making fun of me. And we shut that bag, and it still sits, and I leave it there as regret.
I wish you would have stayed with hockey, son.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, he had like Larionov, Drapes and Larionov, like, Doc, you finally had a boy. We're going to take care of this one. So
Yeah.
And we passed on that. But anyhow, we're digressing. I cleaned my garage, and I was sore. That squatting, the lifting, the move. Yeah.
All right. Well,
gotta be done in slower pace, maybe for someone my decade.
You can't move a decade of stuff in a day, I guess,
That's right.
Doc. That's a moral of the story. No, but Doc, did want to catch up with you, and we're seeing this more and more. Certainly in the NFL is where I'm noticing it the most. And you always talk about secret sauces, and there's ways to do things, and the ability to do things quickly, and being an athlete and all that kind of stuff. But the NFL is where I notice this the most, Doc. And we've even seen it with, and I'm not equating the two. I'm just giving you examples of what we've seen. We've seen it, defensive linemen in an offseason will drop 40, 50 pounds of weight. They're trim, they're quick, they're strong, and everything like that. And Doc, my question about that is, how does that happen? How are these athletes doing that? How are they in a position? Because look, I was very, very big in my previous life and lost a lot of weight. But through diet, through exercise, like the hard way. How are they doing this, Doc?
I want
the secret sauce answer.
Well, this secret isn't that secret anymore. I mean, you listen to any iPod or podcast, they're picking on the $1 trillion ingredient called Ozempic and all those things. Are they using that? It's fun. We can take this two ways. There's the way where we're taking the medication. It is doing it. You can see all Hollywood's talking about the caffeine, the caffeine secret in your cup of coffee, a 7-second mixture. There's a lot of things. It's kind of what I said before. Our science is advancing greatly. We talk about peptides. I've talked about peptides. I talk about exosomes, stuff like that. When you break down Ozempic, it's just a peptide. So it's a certain peptide. What's going on now is Ozempic and those type of medications where we're removing weight but also muscle. The muscle was losing. Now you're getting designer things where you're maintaining the muscle, or you have to take this supplement to maintain muscle. When we're talking about linemen, you're talking about 20-year-old kids, right, who eat crazy. Their diet is ridiculous. You get nutrition on them, you get some things going on, you can lose 20, 30 pounds pretty easily if you're diligent in a dietary program without the Ozempic. Or I don't want to brand, let's call it a weight loss peptide.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of them out there right now. Can you do it? Can you cheat it? Yeah, but you mentioned you lost a lot of weight and you sweat it up. These guys are exercising. If they get into programs, they can legit lose that kind of weight. So when you say they're coming in bigger, faster, and stronger, they're going into a program where weight loss is part of it, but there's also a healthy living's part of it, and then strengthening's a part of it. Like we're talking about doing retreats, through my company, out in other countries so we can do certain biologics that we can't do here. So what's going on is these guys are getting a hold of that, and it's not being advertised. Like you're seeing Hollywood advertise how Kelly Clark, Kelly Clarkson lost like 125 pounds. And I met her at her probably heaviest, real sweet. And now she's thin, like Oprah.
But is that healthy? I mean, what does that do to the body? Yeah, they done those long-term results or tests on it to where they know, like, hey, if you're 20 years old and you're dropping this weight this fast, or if you're Kelly Clarkson and you're dropping 120 in a month, like,
Well,
doesn't that do
it
something
wasn't
to
a
your
month.
heart?
It was probably over 6 to 9 months. Which
Okay,
is
that's
long.
20 pounds a month, though. I mean,
Yeah,
doesn't that do
it's-
something to your heart, your blood, the way your body functions? Because bodies, like, they get to places over time, right? Not just with the snap of a finger.
Well, that's a little old school thinking, right?
I'm an
The
old
biggest
school.
thing is the roller coaster. That's what damages the body the most. If you go and maintain and you create a new lifestyle, which talking about yourself, you did it, committed, and this is my new lifestyle.
Yep, it's the way I live
right?
life.
It's not like the fad diets where you're like, hey, I did whatever, carb
Keto,
load,
yeah.
all that stuff, and then I came off it and I regained the weight, right? There's a lifestyle change if these guys are committed to it. The other side of it is the fear factor that linemen are getting, right? So if we really tease out the big picture, I know you're focusing just on that, but if you look at linemen's health after NFL, they didn't change their lifestyle. They became large individuals that died of heart disease. So all these peptides are lowering the risk of heart disease. So as you do it, how fast you do it, the controlled environment, a controlled scientific environment, you should be healthy, right?
Okay.
You're doing lab work, you're doing cardiac workup, you're doing the whole functional, vascular, all that. That's where you're healthier. You're talking, like, we don't even mention liver and kidneys and pancreas. Pancreas is a big problem with the Ozempic, the peptide things, which is coming as a side effect. Like you said, do we have enough research? Research is coming out. We're improving it. There's more, let's say, designer peptides that are focusing in really on what the weight loss should be. So to answer your question, those 40 pounds that these guys are coming, do they have a little special sauce? Probably. Are they just pushing the Ozempic? No, because then they wouldn't be faster and stronger, right? You have to do the full program. So I'm fully for a better functional lifestyle. Now you're talking about their play. Some of these linemen, like Michigan or Wisconsin and Iowa, are king of 300 plus pound guys. They're harder to move, right? So when you're lean and mean, you're playing a different game. So sometimes that extra weight does benefit. So you got to talk to what the coaches, if you're going to make up for it, where are you going to get the power to push over a 300-pound guy on the other side?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to track these guys, the guys that dropped the 40 pounds in the offseason, and see
And
what their
like-
productivity has turned into this year.
And the reason I bring that up is because we've seen it here with Aleem McNeil. Took a step forward last year, no doubt about it. He shed a lot of weight the previous offseason and came back in and looked good. We saw the clips of Broderick Martin. So we will be able to, as Lions fans, we will certainly be able to take a look at that and kind of pinpoint it. And I was just more curious about how they do it.
Right, and couldn't they do this just through healthy living, or is better living through chemistry part of it?
Now, Doc, I will say this: they don't have the benefit of time like that. I will give them that. Like, yes, for me, like I started, it was 2015ish, just turning into 2016, where I just kind of overnight said, "This is how we're doing life from now on. Deal with it," and we did it. And everything went well, and everything's cool, and we made a lifestyle change. Doc, when you're in a career where you got a 4-year shelf life on average,
Right.
you don't have time to say, all right, well, I'm just going to change my lifestyle now, and over the next couple of years, everything will get better.
Yeah, but the other thing you're forgetting, they have a whole team behind them.
Right.
Like I've said so many times, they have access to so much more than what we have access to. If they follow it and get rigid, like we're very good friends with the nutritionist for the Red Wings. She's the smartest person I know nutritionally, and I've gone all the way to the Olympic Center with that. You get somebody like that, like, this is your portions, this is what you're doing, this is your exercise. You get regimen. We talked about the Brady factor before. You live that life in and out. You live and breathe it. You see results overnight. Like, water weight is 20 pounds on a 300-pound guy, right? So that can be 2 weeks, losing 20 pounds of water weight. So now you add a scientific to it and some secret sauce things. You're 40 pounds. You're talking about 40 pounds on a 300-pound guy. You think it's a lot.
I love when Doc says secret sauce, man.
It's 12% of his body weight. That's not a whole lot.
Talking with our injury insider here, Dr. Jeff Pierce, the Michigan Sports and Spine Center. Freddie Felt 313. Dr. Pierce is cooking today. Once you're off the Ozempic, your muscle mass is effed if you aren't actively exercising. And to be fair, like I I know it came out that way, but I wasn't, saying they're all using Ozempic. I'm not saying that. I was just more curious about the philosophy.
Well, they are. You're not saying it. There you go. I'll say it for you, Neil. There are.
It's a certain peptide that helps with weight loss.
All right, there it is. Okay, I like it better. I like when the doc chimes in and says it right. Steve Wilds, no, it's not old school. Stick is right. You can't just drop 125 pounds in a few months. Crazy clown, I agree, Stick. I always figured 10 pounds a month. It's about right. But I guess it depends on how much somebody weighs. And I guess this is kind of a spin-off question, and you're not an NFL coach, so this is probably an unfair question to ask you, but I like putting you in those uncomfortable spots, Doc. Is this a byproduct of the game change? You can speak to this, though, because you've been around professional sports throughout the decades now, so you've seen games change.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess this might even be more of a byproduct of what we talk about a lot with the change in sports, where it's about athleticism now more than it's ever been in the past. Even at the cost of size sometimes, it's about athleticism.
Yeah, I mean, the athletes, the game is speed now. It's not moving 2 big pound guys in running games. It's speed of how quick you can get to the quarterback, right? I mean, when we grew up, it was all about running game. Now it's all about, the passes, the quick outs. So the quickness for the linemen, especially for defense, they got to be a quicker, larger individual. I mean, whoever saw a lineman running a sub-5 on a 40, right? We're seeing that now. That maybe a handful, but it's getting – the point is these guys are getting a lot faster, and that's like a steam train coming at you kind of quickly. The game is changing. You got to be quicker. You got to be faster. We talk about foot speed. We talk about hand speed. You talk about just that quickness, that first one step. We didn't – back in the old Big Ten games, it was all about how big are your linemen, how fast,
Can you fall forward?
Them. Yeah. I'm moving 5 feet or 5 yards one way or the other with those guys. Now it's a full out, the quarterback's 10 yards back. He's got an out with, within seconds, he's got to release the ball. So you got to put the pressure on.
We'll ride off with this one, Dr. Pierce. No, I don't need a response from you, but Kyle Zweed says Bill Belichick changed his lifestyle around. Yet. I'll just leave it right there. Okay.
I mean,
that's a different segment for a different. That's more of a heavyweights topic. 5 to 7.
Definitely upped his cardio.
He made a decision not to see the cardiac for the stress test.
Yeah, I think we already did that segment.
Yeah, there you go. That's more of a heavyweights.
She calls him Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Doc, appreciate your time, my friend. Thanks for stopping by. As always, Dr. Jeff Pierce, Michigan Sports Insider. I love
this is a crazy segment.
That's what happens when I'm on the show, Doc. I'm sorry.
I don't know how to clip this one up.
Yeah, no, don't worry. I'll do the transitions for you, Doc. Appreciate your time. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Ozempic.
Beep. All right, everybody. Hey, the morning show. That's right. We got a new morning show here. Wake Up Woodward, 8 to 10 a.m. right here on Michigan's #1 sports network. Kool-Aid Flannel Sam, Broder, KG, JB Smoove, the legend. You guys know what it is. 8 to 10 a.m. right here on Woodward Sports Network. We are Michigan's #1 sports network. That is a factual statement. Look at all the metrics. Woodward Sports, Michigan's #1 sports network.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
You guys just heard from our injury insider. That's right, Dr. Jeff Pierce. And don't forget that you shouldn't miss out on the injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce and the Michigan Sport and Spine Center. We do it all the time here on Woodward Sports. Every Tuesday with us, as you just saw. Every Thursday with Ermanni and Edwards. Trust the guy that Darren McCarty trusted with his career. That is right. Dr. Jeff Pierce here to keep you in the game, performing at your best. He's a regular dude. He's sore for moving stuff around in the garage. You are too. So guess what?
I wanted to dive deeper in that. Man. What do you got in your garage, Dr. Pierce?
Yeah. MichiganSportandSpine.com, 248-426-9944. Appreciate Dr. Pierce rolling through. Not as much as he appreciated me cutting that off right there at the end.
Top 5 medical shows.
Yeah, we have one in the chat here from Dr. Jeff P. It says, talk about secret sauce. No, I'm kidding. That one's not in there. That one's not in there. I made that up. But yeah, that's it. So I was just, a lot of times, Stick, we do that for me. Like, I come up with a topic that I'm curious about, and maybe I'm a dork. Maybe, I don't know. I know one thing I do want to get into him more with. That whole Tom Brady, LeBron James phenomenon. These dudes that are in their 40s.
Yeah.
That are still at the top level of their game. That, I'll never not be amazed by that. Ad's 411, that was a good segment. I appreciate you. Appreciate everybody tapping into. The chat has kind of embraced it. So it's become a part of the identity of the show.
You know, and that's your chat gets educated, and that's why they're smarter than most chats, especially the heavyweights chat. Those guys are just degenerates.
We got the best chat there is.
Dude, you do not want to just walk onto a heavyweight show unless you are prepared to get your ass roasted. Roasted.
Yeah, it's fun, Chris. It's funny too. Like Spenny's not even like.
Yeah, he's like fair.
Yeah.
Fair. They
He's
know
like, no.
how toxic their chat is.
Oh,
I mean, they made people quit this network before. Show up one day, nope, not
Never
again.
come
Like
back.
when Anson showed up for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Top
He told
5
me about
comments
that.
ever.
They were going
he
at
told
it.
his
about
haircut they were going at for literally 2 hours.
We did a whole 2-hour chat segment of movies that could be porno names, and the entire
They
2
were killing
hours,
it.
it was just consistently going.
You can't get that analysis anywhere else, baby. 5 to 7 every day.
Yeah, right.
I will not do these in the Woodward Sports chat. So save this for 5 to 7 with the heavyweights. Spenny, you'll love this one. We are not talking about Bill Belichick and his love for, quote, slot receivers.
Oh, yeah.
We're not doing that.
Loves a slot receiver.
5 to 7.
Yep.
Check it out.
Let's go Red Wings Sparty. You're a longtime viewer of the show, and I appreciate that. That kind of stuff plays at 5 to 7.
Yeah.
It doesn't play here.
We got something for everybody.
Yeah.
We do.
We got
Flavor
you.
of the week.
What is it?
It's flavor of the week.
I thought that was a segment on. You should look into it.
Right. Yeah, very well could.
You should look into it. But yeah, it was a good discussion there that I wanted to have. Scooble and Green got named to the All-Star game over the weekend as well. So that was pretty cool to see.
Is Scooble the starter? Has that been announced yet?
I don't think he is.
No, they have not announced
Him and
anything
Paul
about the starter.
Skeens, baby. Those are your two starters.
Do you actually think Skeens is going to start?
No, it's
No,
gonna be.
he won't, but he could. I mean, 5-0 in his 10 stars. I love him as a rookie, and he brings along Livy Dunn. So,
I definitely.
bonus, hit that bell, please, Livy Dunn, please.
I got you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Absolutely. So that was pretty cool to see. Obviously, well-deserved. Riley Green, hopefully he becomes that linchpin that we think he is. And I think and look, I said this earlier in the year. I said this in the offseason. I wanted the Ronald Acuna deal done with Riley Green. The 8 years, I think Acuna did 8 years, $100 million, 8 years, $110 million. The 8 years with inflation, probably $140 million deal. Both sides gamble a little bit and put it on the table, put it out there. You skip all you rip up the arbitration deal, and you just make that the deal going forward. Riley Green, you've never heard me speak bad on Riley Green. Why? He showed us, to quote Rick Ross. He's shown us. And he's shown us steady improvement. You know, there's always going to be ebbs and flows in baseball. There is. But he has shown us steady improvement. You'll never hear a negative word out of my mouth about Riley Green.
Yeah.
Never.
He proved us right. If he stays healthy, he's the man.
And he stayed healthy.
Yeah.
And here he is, and he's an all-star.
First homegrown talent since Curtis Granderson.
Yes, sir.
From my understanding.
That is a factual statement.
And
wait a minute.
No, it's real.
I know. Man. So things are starting to make a lot of sense around here.
Flannel got flabbergasted yesterday when I said that, All-Star I think is a little bit of a reach, but it's nice to see this guy doing what he does. And the fact that he was voted on by his peers, not voted in by the fans, but by the peers, shows game recognizes game, right?
Yeah.
And to me, that speaks a lot louder than a fan vote. So I'm happy he made it. I'm happy he's showing progression. The Tigers need something. Need somebody to wrap your arms around, some identity that you can have. And, having these two go to the All-Star game is a good thing for the Tigers. Now, do I necessarily think All-Star is exactly what Riley Green is this year? Not necessarily, but I have a different standard for that, and that's what we learned yesterday. I think you got to be top 2 at your position to be an All-Star.
Which he's in I forget exactly because I haven't checked on it in about a week or so, but OPS-wise, he is in the top of the
top 5 in it. Yeah.
He is still top 5 in it?
Yeah, I believe so.
See, he's top 7, top 5 in a lot of categories, but he's not 1 or 2 really anywhere. So, collectively, and that's what we talked about yesterday, he's adding it all together, and it adds up to an All-Star appearance, which you can't take away from him. I'm happy. It's a pulse for the Tigers, at least, right? It's something you can wrap your arms around. It's something you can kind of be excited about, but it's also early in the process with Green. He's still got a lot to prove. He's still got to keep getting better, because if this is the peak, I think we'll all be disappointed.
And he will. There's no reason to suggest he won't.
I'm not saying he won't. I'm just saying that this isn't the end-all, be-all. This guy has the potential to keep going.
But all right, you ready to get off the highway and get back to it, KG? Because that's how this is going to go. Crazy Clown brings up a great point, too. Riley Green's also doing it without any, he says a lot of protection. I'll say a Crazy Clown. Without any protection.
Yeah, he's raw dogging
around
him. He's raw dogging it.
No Vaseline.
Hey, how's your savior Mark Canna doing?
Oh my God, here we go with that. And
Okay.
that was Flannel Savior.
How's your third base platoon rolling?
Yeah.
Gio had a couple hits.
Gio's not that bad, man. I never said he was the future at third base. I just said he was a good signing for this year.
Just asking the question. So here's where it comes back to. Let's just cut the shit and bring it back to it.
Yeah. He said on the golf course on Sunday. It's pretty funny.
Oh, he did?
I got it together the last 4 holes, too.
You did?
You cut the shit.
One over the last 4.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I cut the shit. But anyway,
right.
So here's the deal with the Tigers right now. And I'm going to keep it 100 with everybody and keep it consistent. And here's where I'm going to go ahead and start to be a little more vocal about this. If this is the way the Tigers are going to operate as an organization, and you know what I mean when I say this is the way they're going to operate as an organization, you know what I mean, then you need to do this, what I've talked about for just about a year now.
Yeah.
You need to lock Riley Green up. Long term, rip up the rookie deal, the arbitration deal, and just do it going forward. I call it the Ronald Acuna deal. You need to rip it up, and you need to do it now. Because if this is the way you're going to go about it, then go about it this way. And when you get a hit, you lock it up.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's what you have to do right now with Riley. You have to do it right now with Riley Green. Now, I'm going to say that, and then I'm going to flip around and go this way. I believe that right now is when within the next, and when I say right now, I believe within the next couple months, you need to make your decision with Tarek Skubal. You need to make your decision.
Yeah.
And I can be sold on trading him. I can be sold on signing him. I can live either way. I can, depending on what the return is and all that stuff. But if you're going to operate that, and I see you shaking your head over there, Stick, but if you're going to operate this way as a franchise, Stick, then you need to operate this way. And you either need to do it now and get whatever discounts you can on it, or you need to trade him now while you have the maximum control at the peak of their performance when he starts in the All-Star game as a Cy Young favorite.
Yeah.
Cy Young favorite, then you need to make your move now. Either way, I'm cool with either way, but you need to make your move now. If this is what you are, then be what you say you are.
And I wasn't shaking my head because I disagree with you. I'm shaking my head because I think you have to sign both of them long term. If you're going to be the team you claim to be. If you go half in and just sign one end of this deal when you have 2 budding stars on your lineup already and you don't secure those 2 guys, one at the pitcher position, which as we know, you need pitchers in baseball. That's what is all about. It's just like having a goalie in hockey, and you lock up your center fielder and you lock up your future bat, right? You get those 2 things in place. Now you can start building around it. But if you only sign one of those things to a long-term deal, you're still not making the progress I think both me and you want them to make. So that's what I was shaking my head about, is it's no longer a Skubal and Green situation. Those 2 need to be packaged together, and there you go. Put them on a billboard. This is our future. Buy your tickets. Go to Comerica Park, because at least you'll see these 2 to play together once every 5 days.
I don't put as much into that whole ticket thing because teams don't make their money from tickets. Yeah. They make it from these, these $1 billion, $7 billion TV deals that we talk about the NBA getting.
Thanks, Bally.
That's how they make their money.
Eat shit, Belly.
Right.
Their bankruptcy hearing's coming up in about 2 weeks, I believe.
That means nothing.
No, but we should have some closure on the Bally's thing.
Yeah. I mean, but like anybody who thinks Bally's bankruptcy means anything, I worked with iHeart when they went through their bankruptcy. You know what they did? They took an $8 billion debt and they restructured it to a $4 billion debt and extended it over 30 years. So really, they're just restructuring debt.
The difference is there was no one harmed in that debt losing other than some nameless, faceless companies.
Exactly. Baseball teams have been affected.
In this bankruptcy hearing, there's 30 dudes whose money got affected. Mm-hmm. To the tune of where the Minnesota Twins owner said, hey, we got by Bally's, and we're not going to buy players because of it. And there were a lot of teams like that. The Twins owner was the only one. The Twins owner was the only one that was honest about it.
The Reds owner, too. Reds owner came out.
Well, the Reds owner is like...
He said, you're going to take it. And
you're lucky we're here.
Right.
He said that to Cincinnati. He's like, you're lucky we're here. We'll move that. I'll turn this team around.
I'll sell this team.
Yeah. It's just, and I saw Broder in there, said, I dig that, Neil. I'm with you. Only thing I would say is make that decision in the offseason. I want major league bats. The problem with that, Broder, before we cut to the break here, the problem with that for me is the Baltimore Orioles right now, they got that 3-game lead on the Yankees. They got to close the deal. Yeah. They got to close the deal. And if you're going to do it, I think that you have the highest leverage over a team like the Baltimore Orioles right now.
I saw like 10 of their next 18 games are against the Guardians or something like that. So
who's that?
Tigers.
Tigers?
Yeah.
Okay.
So could shake up the Central here.
Oh, the comeback?
Look out.
They're 14 games back of the Guardians.
Come on, 66.
Don't get me home.
You said there's 10 of them in the next 18?
In the next 18?
So they're not mathematically out of it yet.
They got one.
And guess who we got on the tip tonight? Maeda, baby. Look out.
All right, so we're 1-1.
Oh,
500 ball club, baby.
Bad.
Just got to win 66%.
Hey, how's Kenta Maeda, that big free agent acquisition?
Don't do that with me. I already told you was right on that. Don't do that with me,
I'm just checking back in. Hey, has there been any movement?
The problem is, KG, he gets to be right from now till the end of time.
Yeah, that's fine. Take that up with Broder. Broder still said give him a couple more games. I'm over that. I think he should be DFA.
You told me Maeda and Flaherty both were going to hit.
I said be patient with Maeda. Clearly that
Be patient. He's 34.
Yeah, he's a slow starter though historically. And
it's taken him 34 years. Maybe he should go. Hey, maybe Katz thinks he should go play with the Red Wings. He'll be ready in 10 years. All right.
Just saying, man.
We overshot the break again, didn't we? But
yeah, we having a good time.
You can't rush greatness. Tell him about Mark White. Speaking of greatness.
Mark White, that is great. Mark White is the best that it can get. Make sure you tap in with Mark White, and he'll help you save up to $5,000 on your new home. Mark White will make your dreams come true. Go to markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. Mark White's gonna do you right. Mark White's gonna change your life. Make sure you hit up Mark White. He'll make sure everything you need comes true.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
All right, let's get serious, everybody. Quit clowning around here. You're dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, other family law issues. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law right here in Birmingham will have your back. Guys, why would you not want over 10 years of experience? And how about this, too? This is underrated. People don't talk about this. 24/7 availability. Because you know you're staying up at night thinking about this stuff. Like, let's cut the ish right now,
Cold
everybody.
sweats.
Yeah, you're thinking about it. You're thinking about it a lot. Get over 10 years of experience. Get 24/7 availability on your side. Scan the QR code right now. Start to feel better about this. Or give them a call, 248-971-0476. Say we sent you. Say Woodward Sports sent you. KDK will pay your filing fee. They're local, they're experienced, they're going to get you results, everybody. Scan that code on the screen. KDK Law, they've got your back.
Don't let her take that F-150 you just bought. Come on now.
She's not really going to take the F-150.
She might.
Don't let him take the
You can
F-150
take
either.
my kids. You leave me, my monkey.
Absolutely.
One of the most underrated comedy movies of all time.
Just a fan. No one will give up bats if they are in a playoff race. And that's what Broder says. I don't think they're the best trade partners. I want players that they want to keep. But I want players they will want to keep that chase that World Series on. They won't give up anything they're counting on. No one's going to give up anything they're counting on. That's the point of this.
I'm just trying to make out what you're saying.
Give me 1, 2, 7, and 9. Your prospects.
I do think they'll do better trying to trade them in the offseason if they were to trade them.
Kisses. I just want to beat off all my demons.
Jesus Christ.
I'm telling you, it's one of the most underrated comedy movies ever.
You don't want none of this, do we?
You don't want none of this,
Makes all
do
the
we,
bad
guys?
feelings into good feelings.
It sounds expensive.
It's the cheapest drug there is.
Oh, I don't want to get addicted. It's not addictive for me.
You've never
Is this
seen that movie,
Eastbound and
Neil?
Down or
No,
what?
Dewey
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Cox,
absolutely.
Walk Hard.
Walk Hard,
it
man.
is Dewey
Yeah.
Cox. Yeah.
Thomas Perry, Neil Stick, in a Free Press article today, in the 23-24 seasons combined, Javi's hitting .333 with an .858 OPS with runners in scoring
Just
position.
why?
178, .472 OPS without runners in scoring position.
Why, man?
Can someone Jedi mind trick him? No, Thomas, that's math. Everybody hits better with runners in scoring position.
Not us, apparently, but, you know.
Everybody has a higher OPS with runners in scoring position.
I don't think that's Bob Dylan. Why it sounds
Well,
like
then it's
Dewey
the
Cox.
Tigers' fault for not surrounding him with better players.
I guess.
The wrong kid died.
Stephen Baffy.
Yeah, that shit was sick.
Sir, your son has a particularly bad case of being cut in half.
Stephen Baffy. Scuba and his agents are going to wait till they can max value an extension and make no sense for them to extend now. Well, then, Stephen Baffy, then you do what you got to do.
And he never once paid for drugs.
Not once. Not once.
No, Dewey, you don't want to do this.
Stephen Baffy, he's a Boris client, too. Isn't Scuba a Boris client?
Yeah, I think so.
So, you know, you want to run with the devil. I would say this, Stephen Baffy. If I had a previous Tommy John surgery and I'm pushing 30, what's he, 27, about to be 28, I would take a little off the back end to get more on the front end. I would do that. And I would get that deal done, and I got my money. So that's it. All right, let's do this. Let's take the quick break and come back. We got show-on-show crime.
Violence.
Show-on-show violence coming up here to ride this thing out.
Oh.
Tell them about Randy White.
Oh, Randy Wise. Not only do they invite us to all these awesome golf outings, they're inviting you too. So next time Woodward Sports is out live, feel free to join us. Last time Kirk Gibson was there, he was able to hop on Wake Up Woodward with them. And it's just fun to get into these golf outings too. You can play with Neil Rule potentially.
If you need a putter.
If you need a putter, this is your guy. Just scan that QR code above my head. And then shout out to Randy Wise. If you need a car, shout out to their automotive team. Go get one.
Drive into summer and drive into savings during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest Memorial Day sale ever. We're stocked with new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to move. Like this 2024 Silverado for only $217 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $199 a month. Find your freedom in a Feldman at the Memorial Day sale going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full-line merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed-out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sports League. They offer youth ages 5 to 14 with 6 exciting teams to choose from in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. Register for football or cheer at bgcsm.org. Equipment, meals, transportation included, all for a chance to play for a championship at Ford Field for just $175 per child. Put the youth back in youth sports with BGCSM 3C Sports. All right, final segment of the show. Neil Rule stick in for DMAC, KG, intern Justin. Of course, you know what it is. We got Spencer Raxter here in the building as well. And
KG, sorry.
Oh, what do you got?
Can you shrink this down so you can see the logo up top?
Yeah, I got you.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, all right. So there is that as a little production on the fly.
Yeah, you know how we do. Details, baby. Details.
Broder says I would try to lock Scooble up for 6 years this offseason. He's not signing for 6 years, Broder. Come on. Get in the real world here. Look around. Otherwise, Boris is taking him a free agency looking for $250 to $300 million plus. No, Broder. That number's going to start with a 4. 10 years, number starts with a 4. Remember, we're in a league right now where Max Scherzer makes $43 million and Justin Verlander makes $43 million.
Oh, God, I miss those guys.
Are you taking less than that when you're winning the Cy Young and you're starting the All-Star game? I'm not.
No, the discount's over when your team's this bad. Like, you want me to pitch for this club for the next 7 years?
See, I think that I don't think people understand the stakes here.
Yeah. This is his life, by the way, and his legacy.
Scherzer and Verlander make 42 and change.
Yeah.
Are you taking less than that?
No.
Look at what Max Scherzer's doing. He makes 42 and change.
Yeah.
I'm starting the All-Star game and we're going to win the Cy Young.
Yeah, but the reason why he's making that is because he used to do that. So, like, he's getting
and
paid
I'm
for what
doing
he
it.
used to do. Right. And this is what
And
you're
at the
doing.
end of this deal, baseball has shown us you're going to pay me for what I used to do too.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. I mean, just pay him. Just pay him. There's no salary cap. Just pay him. Just pay him. Like, that's what I'll never understand about the Tigers. When they were good, they were spending money. They're crap, they're not spending money. It just makes no sense to me. Get back to it. That's like when hockey got their salary cap and Illich could take that $200 million he was putting towards the Red Wings and move it on over to the Tigers. Miraculously, the Tigers got good as soon as hockey got a salary cap and he started caring about the Tigers.
Right.
But then they stopped spending the money. As a business person, you see the immediate return in a successful baseball team. You saw Comerica Park sell out 40,000, 42,000, 81 times a year. It's going to pay for these guys. Spend the money. Just spend the money. You have the money. Spend the money. Spend the money on the whole damn team. Buy yourself a championship. And I promise you, you're going to get your ROI. Woodward will be packed with 1 million people when you win a championship. Spend the money. Spend it.
The Rangers just did it last year.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
They woke up and said we're going to be good today.
Yeah, with baseball, you can do it. You can buy yourself a championship. And I don't understand when we got some of the richest dudes in the world, they're not like, where's your pride? Honestly, like, I respect the Ilitch family because of what that family has meant to Detroit. But just sometimes when you get handed something, you don't care for it and aren't as aggressive as if you built it.
It's a business.
And now it's time to treat it like you're building it, like you want your legacy. Your father didn't get that championship that he wanted. Remember rolling frail Ilitch out on the field at the very end? No, and it was Miggy wanted it. The team wanted it for Mr. I. That's what they kept saying. We got to get a championship for Mr. I. I'm challenging the rest of the Ilitch family. Go get that championship for him. Now! Go get it. Spend the money today. Buy a championship.
I want to pinch your cheek, Stick. It's so cute. I want to pat you on your little head.
It's so easy.
Is it?
Yeah.
It seems to be hard. I mean,
the Yankees bought, how many they had? 27 of them?
That's all they do.
That's all they do is
Best
spend
team
money.
money
They're the
can buy.
number one payroll in baseball. And what do they have? The most championships. It ain't rocket science.
All right, real quick. Bring me up to speed on that. I know we'll get out, Spetty.
I was about to say, we ain't even really got enough time to break this down. They essentially...
The afternoon show.
Yeah, go ahead. Set it up. They said
they had some thoughts about Steve Yzerman, huh?
It's not moving the needle for him. They
It's
said
not?
this free agency was definitely a missed opportunity. It's not really moving the needle for them. And when I tried to give a little pushback about, maybe he's just leaning into the youth movement, they said that's pretty much not good enough. Essentially, I'm paraphrasing. But
is it? So what moves? What moves did they say they wanted then? You can't just come up and say, "Hey, this sucks." Well, yeah. What would you do about it?
They didn't
what moves?
that.
What moves did they miss out? Was it the Stamkos thing?
Yeah.
Well, I bet it was.
Yeah, he brought up
That's
the
so
Stamkos.
afternoon show.
Yeah.
They don't give Stamkos $8 million a year till he's 38.
Well, they didn't say that, but they did bring up the Stamkos deal, and they just said,
Of course they did, but they didn't say that. I wonder why.
But Stevie needs to do more. They feel like he needs to do a little bit more in terms of getting talent on the team.
There's been nothing but linear growth.
Yeah.
No. They're looking for bloated contracts that show that they're bringing in star players that will 100% impede on our window of success when we're ready to actually win a championship. That's what they want, not the beautiful bridge contracts that Steve Yzerman signed where he did Steve Yzerman things.
All right, Ermanni and Edwards 2-4 today.
Don't sound so excited.
For Stick, for KG. Stick, thanks for running, man. I appreciate it, as always.
Always a good time.
2 hours flew by, man. For KG, for Jesus the intern, for Spencer Asher, I'm Neil Roll. Thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.